getting comfy. Please excuse the old, very thick jacket, but the temperatures in Scotland have gone from 20 degrees last week, when it was bloody awesome, to literally 4 degrees outside. So the flat is now freezing cold again. But we'll get over it. Welcome back. We've got a cool YouTube tonight, so let's go. Evening guys, welcome back to the YouTube, the classic YouTube rock and roll, you know, film, catch up, blah blah blah, whatever you want to call it. It's on. There's a blog post tonight across on my website as well with some super cool photos, maybe one or two of me, just, you know, in there behind the scenes type of action shots of me trying to do a cool video. And I'm going to talk to you about Wrong Generation. So I want to talk to you like basically how it came about, what the brand is, it's girls. So, you know, hopefully it's not going to bore all you guys, but it's definitely like, I want to try one of the blazers on, even the trousers, see what the crack is, because I think I'll be able to pull one off personally. But I want to explain this super cool brand I've recently just worked with in London, and the blog post is all about that tonight too. So where do we start? Well, I found this brand on Instagram, and it was like a sponsored story. It came about, and it was the time where I really wanted to just go out there and create. It was like a slow start to the year, and I didn't really have that many major projects going on, especially not in London. So it was like one I was really searching hard for. Anyway, just randomly on Instagram, classic clicking through Instagram stories, and then I came upon a photograph where it was just like this super cool shot. This girl wearing this like green velvet suit, jacket and matching trousers, like with a really high flash intensity, and like just the shot just spoke everything. It was like a sponsored post, sponsored story. I was like, bang, I want to find out more. Who is this brand? So I went across to their Instagram, and the brand's called Wrong Generation. So they specialize in like high-end velvet suits for girls. But hopefully, you know what I mean, anything could happen. I really want some guys, like, because I mean, what's cooler than the guy's velvet suit, you know what I mean? Super cool. But they just do girl stuff at the minute, but that's not to say I don't know what they'll do in the future. But I want to keep on going on is make a guy, because the velvet suits are absolutely amazing. So we're talking like the best quality velvet. It's all designed and made here in the UK around the London area. So I found the super cool brand. I was like, right, okay, please, the gods out there, sort me out with it, you know, like even just to read the message. I was like, I put together a little message. I was like, oh, it looks amazing, super cool profile, amazing suits, amazing vibes, got that sort of like touch to the 70s as well, you know, like that sort of like classic, sort of brightly coloured, bit of a vintage aesthetic with the suits as well. Perfectly right up my street style. Bang, sent a couple of phones, and I was like, right, see what happens. I think literally like 10 minutes later, it was like, right, love your phones. I was like, yes, we could possibly be in here. And basically got talking to the girl who owns it, Mia. So the next day, because this was like late o'clock, I was gonna say, late at night, the previous day. And she was like, right, don't really do messaging, but give us a ring tomorrow. I'm not very good on the phone when it comes to it. Maybe I might come across good on the phone, I might come across confident, but phoning people's like not my bag. But I'm definitely getting better. A few years ago, it was just an absolute bloody nightmare. But now I think I can sort of deal with people on the phone, which is a good little achievement of mine, which I've built on over the years, and now I can, you know, phone someone. So out of the blue, I was like, right, I don't know what she's called, I don't know sort of what angle I'm gonna go for here. Anyway, rang Mia up, and then we just sort of just talked about shoots, talking about like inspiration. I was saying obviously the style and like the whole like velvet suit, like just posts in like inspos and just sort of like the models wearing it and like influences. You've got it down. And she was like, all right, cheers. Do you want to plan a shoot? And I was like, yes, please, we'll definitely plan a shoot. So it all came about like just so randomly, and I believe in like everything to do with like the universe, right place, right time, sort of like just randomly coming across that brand, you know, talking and just getting on really, really well straight away. So it was the perfect storm, as it were. She liked my stuff, she liked my style, obviously of filming, and you know, I could definitely tell this was like a very, very super cool brand I'd love to work with. So it was like a dream find of mine. So basically organised a shoot on the phone. It was like, right, come to London next week. I think it was a couple of days previous to Fashion Week. I didn't know if I was going to be in London anyway, because I got invited to a few parties and stuff, but that didn't end up happening. But I was like, right, fashion, London, it's close to Fashion Week, it's a super cool shoot we've got planned. I outlined a couple of ideas that it was just like, right, okay, think of something. And I was thinking, like, I've had this like cinema idea in London saved so long on my phone, and it was an old cinema, I think sort of like northeast London type, a little bit too far out, but I was sort of like, all right, can we do something about that? It was called Screen on the Green. It's a really old school cinema, it just looks amazing outside. And then I thought of another idea, I can't quite remember, so it wasn't as good as the cinema idea basically. She was like, right, love the cinema idea, we'll go with that. So we had a rough sort of plan, like my personal sort of the day shoot, and I do like to have a rough plan, but I don't like a scheduled plan. I like to see what happens plan. So anyway, got down London the night before. I knew I had to be up early because I wanted to get a couple of cool shots, because I also wanted to shoot on a bridge in London, Albert Bridge, which is very close to Chelsea. The brand and Mia herself are based in Chelsea, so we're talking the coolest of the cool, unbelievable. And I was like, right, get Albert Bridge in, because that's one of my, you know, top bridges in London. If we've got a favourite bridge, that's probably mine. I just love it. I visited a couple of times before in the past, and it's just such a super cool like symbol of Chelsea. You don't, I mean, yes, you do say, oh, made in Chelsea, classic. I didn't want it to be made in Chelsea, neither did she. So we wanted to go for a cool vibe, but I was like, right, if you get a model on that bridge, you know, just even if it's just the one model, it's going to look super cool and we can edit it in. So basically I got there early in the morning because I want to get some drone shots, and this is the first time I've properly used my drone, like completely out of my comfort zone. So you can't get worse than flying over water, flying in the middle of London, and flying like sort of really early in the morning when the sun was rising. So we got there at like 6:15, 6:30, because we want to catch the sunrise. So we got the sunrise over the river, took the drone off, and I had to go like underneath some trees and then like very close to the water and then back up to like miss the branches. Anyway, took the drone off, it was good. I sort of did lose it for a good 5 minutes because it was like right in the sun and I couldn't see where it was. I could see it on the controller, but I couldn't see it in the sky. That was very worrying. But nevertheless, got the shot I wanted, back, landed it, absolute perfection. My heart was racing, especially when I like lost it in the middle of the sky, but it was back. And I think now, after that like thrown in at the deep end drone flying, I think I'm a legend basically, and I can fly my drone anywhere. I won't tell you what happened in the flat last week, but that's another story. So yeah, got the drone shot, went to a little cafe, warmed up because it was still quite chilly when we went. I think it was the end of like, probably the end of February, like beginning of March. So it was quite cold down there. But yeah, got that shot, had a coffee, had some breakfast in this little cafe in Chelsea, and we were just around the corner from meeting everyone where we were, you know, I think it was gonna be like, gonna sort all the makeup and stuff out. So I was around the corner from all of that, wandered around, right time, everyone was there. So there was a makeup artist there, she did an amazing job, killer, cool, you know, vibe with all this sort of 70s looks. There was a hairstylist there who did an absolutely amazing job. And obviously we got to meet all the models in the morning as well. I took Louisa down, so Louisa was one of the models in the shoot, and it was really good just to bring, you know, Louisa down for the shoot in London. So we got to spend a bit of time, you know, traveling down, having a good time down there as well. So we all met, all the models, super cool, everyone's having a good time, coffees, Mia comes in, has all the clothes, line them all up. It was like my perfect shoot. There's makeup, hair, everything. Everyone was like doing the best job ever. Everyone looked super cool at the end, but it was just the scheduling of time. Like it took a long time to do the makeup and hair, and we had this model until like probably very sort of late-ish in the morning, but she was the first one to go. And I was like, right, okay, we'll just go and shoot you anyway. We'll go and shoot you down at the bridge. I know it'll come in handy. So we got some cool shots there when everyone else was getting the hair and makeup done. So we first shot Courtney. Courtney has sort of like the red hair and the green velvet suit. It looked amazing. Before I actually talk anymore, I want to show you the film. With the film, obviously edited the song. So I got Harry, my mate in London, who is the best guitarist I've pretty much ever met, to sample The Who, and he absolutely smashed it out of the park like he does with, we've worked together a few times on a few little projects, and every single time, like no matter if it's Hendrix, The Who, even just his own stuff, absolute legend. So he played the track on this film and he smashed it out of the park as per. So here is the film, and I'll come back and tell you obviously everything else after. There's the film. I think it's bloody legendary. Slightly a little longer. I couldn't get it all to a minute. It had to be over a minute because there was just so much bloody good stuff during the day. So now you know the sort of storyline. You can see obviously we shot Courtney in the morning, but then it sort of happened that we went to, again, we just found this cinema. So Mia had shot there in this sort of like antique-y, really super cool place with like lots of like oddities. There was a bar there, there was lots of vintage stuff there, there was furniture there, and it was the coolest place in Chelsea. Like some of their price tags on some, a couple of items were like a lot of money, but it was the coolest of the cool. It was the creme de la creme when it comes to vintage. I probably haven't been in a cooler antique store ever. The antique store was amazing. It was such the perfect backdrop. But basically it had one of those little guard, where you see the Busby guard standing in London, one of those little, you know, trying to think, it's like a weatherproof little station for them basically, where they stand so they don't get wet. They had that in the corner, and then there was this curtain behind it, so it just looked like one of those like little stands. But when you open the curtain, it opened up to another room, and there was this cinema room, so it had a really cool monotone top to it. There was bottles of champagne in there, there was popcorn in there. They had the coolest sort of like sheepskin sort of furry rug, which was just amazing. To stand on the seats were amazing. They had a huge screen that came out of the floor, and sort of we didn't want to use the screen, we wanted to use it as a projector. So those projections on that wall was me editing it on. I hope it does look like it was actually on there. I know it was a little bit jittery, but I think that sort of added to the vibe of the projection. So since we only had Courtney in the morning until, you know, like late morning, we shot her first. We did all the shoots for the bridge, and she sort of didn't feature in the film, but she did feature in the film because it was like the other girls were going to see Courtney at the cinema. And I just thought it all tied in. The old cinema on the outside where the taxi come in, obviously we jumped in the taxi, we went around London a couple of times, we went over the bridge a couple of times later in the day, edited it all in, so it all happens at different times, it all happens in different ways, but when you get a bit of a storyline, you just know which way it's going to go. So it looks super cool, it looks amazing. I'm really happy with it. I think Harry did a great job, all the models did a great job, hair, makeup, absolute legends. Mia sort of like, you know, set it all out, told everyone what to do, and it was just the coolest shoot of all time. Like, that's my perfect shoot. It's like, right, we've sort of got a plan, but we can just see what happens. We go with the flow, we can just find places, little favours happen. Taxi drivers are legends, going like, yeah, hop in, no worries, we'll get some shots. Like, everyone just worked, and the whole day went absolutely great. That's like one of my favourite times where it's just like, right, you plan it, you have the idea, you've got like some sort of vision probably in your head. I'm like, yeah, I've got a vision in my head. I always have a vision in my head, it always works. But shoots like that where it's just like it can't fail, like the models are super cool, the brand's super cool, we're in London, we're in Chelsea, like you cannot go wrong here. So it makes my job so easy when everyone else is just bloody legends. So yeah, that was super cool, got on really well, everyone was super nice, really, really good day. And then we wrapped it, got all the shots. Oliver, who did a couple of photos, obviously I've posted Oliver's photos across on my blog, which you can see his work. I've linked his little page at the bottom as well. Sick videos, sick photos, check him out as well. He did a good job on the day as well. And yeah, everything worked really, really well. Ladies out there, come on, you've got to check Wrong Generation. So they've got super cool websites. They do straight trousers, sort of flared trousers, cropped jackets, normal jackets, shirts. You can put the whole outfit together. Mia's got absolutely everyone wearing it, from literally name any celebrity, they've probably got a little jacket on. So super cool brand. I think it's literally on the precipice, because you can't go wrong. You've got the brand, you've got the look, you've got the vibe, you've got the material, you've got everything, and everything is just waiting to just go, see you later, bang, amazing, huge. So I think it's gonna go very, very well. It's definitely a business to watch out for. Hopefully you might see some sponsored Facebook and Instagram stories. Yours truly is made, so I've made those. A little bit of a different vibe on the Instagram and Facebook sponsored posts, but nevertheless they look super cool, really, really good. Tells you everything you need to know about the brand, what the vibe is, what the clothes are like, everyone having fun, having a good time, that vintage nod to like the 70s, the old school materials, the velvet, all super cool. And then we finished the day, me and Louisa were like, right, bang, super cool day. We're headed across to the Bluebird in Chelsea, which I've not been to in ages. I remember when I first went in there, and it was like one of the first times in London. It was the first time I've been anywhere sort of by myself and weren't bothered about like being by myself. And I remember having a bite to eat in there and having a pint, and I was like, this is the coolest of the cool. And this is like back in the day. And it was so nice to go back in there after basically doing one of my dream things like years ago. One of my dream things years ago would be like shooting for a super cool brand, shooting in London, having like the best hair, makeup and models on the shoot, and just having a good day. And that was what, a few years ago when I was sitting there having a pint and a burger by myself, I was like, oh, I'd love to do that. And then that happened. I was like, that is the coolest feeling of all time. So it was a really good day, absolutely killer. I hope you liked the video. Here's another one, right? So so it's a brand where you can lend and hire equipment for photography and videography. So they do speakers, cameras, literally everything, tripods, lights, whatever. You can hire the equipment for the day or a couple of hours. It's called Video in London. And who is, I think he's number 12, oh no, he's number 11 possibly, of top videographers in London. So I was put on this list. So obviously didn't make the top 10, but we can always work on that because number 11 is a legend. I am the 11th on this website of the best videographer in London. So if you want to hit number 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1 up, go for it. But you know you're going to get a good job with number 11, slightly at the top 10. Nevertheless, I might, you know, put that on the business card, like 11th best videographer in London, but it was a poll. Nevertheless, I am very, very happy to be on. So thanks Video for putting me on that. And again, if you want to hire any equipment, check the website out. Super cool, trustworthy brand in London to hire the best quality cameras, lighting, whatever you want. Number 11. Cheers. So yeah, that's me. It was really, really good. I like that. So there's only one way, and there's only one way, and that way is up. So maybe next year I'll be in the top 10. So watch this space. But yeah, I thought I'd jump on across. You can have a look at the photos across on my blog. See photographs of Louisa, the other models there, the velvet suits. Definitely head across to the website. Obviously, if you're a guy, you got your girlfriend's birthday coming up, whatever. One of the velvet suits is super cool. Jackets, trousers, whatever. Hopefully, fingers crossed, there's a nice little summer campaign, which is very cool. I sort of know what they're making, and it's sick. So watch out for that as well. There's definitely more to come from Wrong Generation. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching my little YouTube as well, and catch you soon for the next one. Cheers, see you in a bit.